Innovation at scale happens not in silos and constricted teams, but through open mindsets and global collaboration. Evangelizing this philosophy, our opening keynote speaker leads from the front at one of the foremost tech innovation companies, Applied Materials. Nalamasu is the company's CTO and the president of Applied Ventures, where he oversees the financial and strategic investments in early and growth stage companies through open innovation and strategic partnerships, with a focus on empowering the teams to innovate, partner, and grow. Ladies and gentlemen, my pleasure to welcome Nalamasu.
My name is Nalamasu. I'm delighted to be here at TiEcon, one of the leading conferences. As an officer, I am required to flash these forward-looking statements, and other information is part of my presentation. Applied Materials is world's leading semiconductor and display equipment company. Our revenue last year was about $17 billion. We invest more than $2 billion in research and development, and on average, we protect 4 inventions every day, and we have 24,000 employees in 19 countries across the globe. Here we have a video that shows what materials engineering is and what this unique capability that has made the semiconductor industry and display industry happen, and how this could be a solution to address multiple global inflections.
We work at the edge of what's possible every day. Others reach into the cold vacuum of space or penetrate the ocean's crushing depths. We plunge down into the unseen world of the nanosphere. Leaving behind dimensions that make sense to our senses, we shrink down tenfold, then by 100, then by 1,000, shrinking again and again to a millionth, to nearly a billionth of a meter. Welcome to the nanosphere. Here, we build and help others build immensely powerful tiny objects like logic chips, and this, a 3D NAND memory chip. It's an entire city built of atoms. So how do we engineer something so incredibly small? Here, the environment is extreme. It's an alien landscape where we sculpt and shape using pressure and temperature. Plasma clouds heat ions hotter than the surface of the sun as they rain down molecules which build up structures atom by atom. Silicon is transformed into a much more efficient electrical conductor, bombarded, disrupted, and then in a flash, its crystalline structure is repaired, with its conductive powers much increased. Now we build up, layer upon layer. This structure will soon be home to billions of memory cells. We deposit, remove, and modify materials, stripping back deposits to reveal a giant staircase, which will eventually bring power to our atomic metropolis. Next, we prepare to drill. However, there's no drill bit small enough for the task, so here we drill with ions. We start by drilling into the protective mask, and then inspect the holes for perfect alignment. Then we drill on down, changing our process to suit each layer. By turning gases into solids, we deposit molecules until the holes are filled. The smallest defects can render the whole chip useless. We etch downwards and sideways, removing only the materials we need to tolerances just 1 atom thick. 10 kilometers of metal are now deposited in one single chip, allowing power to flow to every one of the billions of memory cells, 8 of which are needed to light up just 1 pixel in the eye of this robot defending the galaxy. We continue to work at the edge of what's possible to make possible a better future. where transformative technologies shape a smarter, safer, more sustainable world. Whatever can be imagined will have its beginning in materials engineering. Whatever you imagine, we can imagine how to build it in the Nanosphere. We work here.
So let me talk about Applied Ventures, which is the venture capital arm of Applied Materials. We have invested over $350 million in 90 companies in 16 countries. On average, we invest about $50 to $100 million per year. And we invest in deep tech companies for strategic relevance, and we also obviously look for financial return. We have the freedom to invest all the way from early stage to growth stage, and we certainly are excited and passionate about collaborating with startups and innovation hubs across the globe. We define rather broadly what deep technology is, and we are certainly looking for great ideas that can address the global inflections with materials engineering and in deep tech industries. Whether it is in artificial intelligence, Moore's law, or more than Moore, augmented reality, virtual reality, life sciences, materials, industry 4.0, and sustainability. So rather broad definition of what deep tech is and where materials engineering can play a role. Where we invest basically is in crossing the chasm from lab prototype to product validation. So that chasm is really commercialization chasm. So labs in the universities, R&D labs, as well as companies are great at inventing new devices in the lab, basically making prototypes. Where we want to come in is work with these ideas, work with these companies, and provide high volume manufacturing compatible technology. So you take an idea from the lab to fab. So you take an idea to build $1 billion industry, crossing that chasm through product validation, manufacturing at scale, and so on. So this is about providing smart money, providing manufacturing know-how, and providing access to channels, and providing know-how, and certainly working with the companies with our networks. Applied has made great investments in facilities and capabilities across the globe. In Santa Clara, we have a Class 1 state-of-the-art semiconductor R&D lab. In Tainan, we have a state-of-the-art display lab, and we have a packaging center, again, state-of-the-art in Singapore. And more recently, we have invested $750 million in Albany, New York, in what's called Meta Center, Materials Engineering Technology Accelerator. And the idea of Meta is to take products from lab to fab. What I want to talk to you today specifically is about this idea of innovate anywhere, collaborate everywhere. And I want to specifically talk about innovative collaboration models that we have executed over the last couple of years. So we have partnered with KVIC and created a Korea fund. We have partnered with ITIC in Taiwan to create a Taiwan fund. We have invested in IMEC Europe Fund, and we also have developed a co-investment vehicle with New York Empire State Development Agency. What I want to specifically talk to you is about Taiwan Fund. And as I mentioned, we worked with Industrial Technology Investment Corporation of Taiwan in creating this fund. And the idea here is to connect Silicon Valley ecosystem with Taiwan deep tech ecosystem. So I want you to hear from ITIC, but before that, I want to talk to you about the impact of ITIC on the world as well as on Taiwan. This has been behind creating some of the global players like TSMC, which is world's leading semiconductor company with a market cap of $550 billion. They've been behind incubating UMC, again, a foundry, silicon foundry, and they also invested and made AUO, a display company, happen. So let's hear from Michael Chu, who is the president of ITIC, and he's going to talk about the strong history of collaboration of ITIC and how it has worked with ITRI, and talk about Taiwanese deep innovation ecosystem in semiconductors and display, and how the partnership between Applied Ventures and KVIC really expands the reach for entrepreneurs and gives them access to both of these innovative ecosystems. So let's hear from Michael Chu.
Hi, I'm Michelle Chu, President of Industrial Technology Investment Corporation, or ITIC for short. It's certainly my pleasure and honor to be able to be here with you today at TiEcon 2021 to share with you our cooperation with Applied Ventures. ITIC is the venture capital arm of ITRI, which stands for Industrial Technology Research Institute. ITRI was founded like 50 years ago to foster the development of Taiwan's technology sector. Over the years, ITRI has grown to become one of the most prestigious and productive research institutions in the world, with over 6,000 industry experts and more than 27,000 patents. Among the hundreds of companies created by ITRI, the most famous one is TSMC, or Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Corporation. TSMC was spun off from ITRI's VLSI project back in 1987, when the then President Morris Chang became the chairman and CEO of TSMC. Over the years, ITIC has helped to channel management, funding, resource, and industrial partnership to TSMC. And TSMC has now become the world's largest semiconductor company with market cap exceeding, I would say, 500 billion at least. So as the first ever venture capital firm in Taiwan, we have invested in more than 450 companies over the years and achieved 120 plus IPOs with a total market cap of close to 700 billion. And we have been working hard to expand our reach through international partnership. ITIC created our first ever joint venture fund with Mitsubishi UFJ Bank back in 2011. And now we are excited to be able to work with Applied Venture on our newly created FTIC fund to invest in semiconductor-related ecosystems. At ITIC, we believe in partnership and ecosystem. We are confident that our cooperation with Applied Ventures will make wonderful innovations come true. And we look forward for every opportunity with all of you at TiEcon 2021. Thank you.
You heard from Michael. Very impressive performance. 400 investments, 120 IPOs, and more than $700 billion market cap for the companies that went to IPO from their portfolio. So what I want to do now is to talk to you a little bit about the resurgence in the semiconductor industry, driven by big data and artificial intelligence. 2018 is the first year when machine-generated data has exceeded human-generated data. And if you're looking at fast forward to 2025, human-generated data is going to be a minuscule portion of the overall data generated. And much of the data actually is going to be generated by industrial IoT. Industrial IoT is really synonymous with sensors. And the data we're talking about is in zettabytes. So just as a context, a zettabyte has 21 zeros. So a lot of data. So you would hear next from Matt Crowley, who is the CEO of Vesper Technologies, which is an investment we made as part of the Taiwan Fund. Vesper is a MEMS sensor company, and they use thin film piezoelectric technology as a universal sensor platform. For example, they use the same platform for high fidelity microphones on one hand and low noise accelerometers on the other hand. So we are delighted to be a technology roadmap partner and a value-added investor in Vesper Technologies. So let's hear from Matt.
Hello, everyone. My name is Matt Crowley, and I am the CEO of Vesper Technologies. Thank you for the opportunity to tell you a little bit about Vesper. Vesper is a deep tech company that is driving a paradigm shift in sensors and transducers, from legacy capacitive architectures to our new thin film piezoelectric architecture. Our proprietary technology platform delivers massive improvements in cost, size, performance, integration, and power consumption. Our zero power listening architecture is the first commercially available event-driven intelligent sensor and reduces total system power consumption by 10 times. This enables many new applications. Importantly, our thin film piezo technology platform is a universal sensor process flow that can be used for many different sensors and transducers without any new process development. In fact, unique among MEMS companies, we are currently mass producing microphones and low noise accelerometers on the exact same process flow. Leveraging this stable, high volume process allowed us to also develop additional products such as micro speakers and ultrasonic rangefinders, which are currently sampling to select customers. Importantly, all of these products can be integrated onto a single MEMS chip to make completely novel integrated combo products, such as single chip microphone and voice accelerometer, or single chip speaker and microphone combos. These revolutionary products are made possible with our proprietary thin film piezo technology platform. Vesper is in high volume production and shipping in multiple tier 1 customers such as Samsung, Amazon, Arlo, and Polycom, and many others that we cannot disclose. We have a broad and diverse customer base, and our customers use our products in speakers, security cameras, TV remotes, medical devices, TWS earbuds, safety equipment, agricultural sensors, and even voice-activated garbage cans. We have shipped 30 million units and will grow 100% from 2020 to 2021. Vesper partnered with Applied Materials because our process roadmap requires better quality piezoelectric films to further improve our cost, size, and performance. Applied has demonstrated extremely high quality films that will enable Vesper to catapult into even larger sensor markets and increase our addressable market by many billions of dollars. Vesper and Applied have a close technical collaboration to bring this next generation material science breakthrough to commercial scale on an accelerated timeline. In addition to our close technical partnership, Applied is a value-added investor that has extensive knowledge of the semiconductor business and is always willing to open their Rolodex to make key introductions. I am delighted to be in business with Applied Materials and Applied Ventures and look forward to a long-term partnership to drive successive generations of thin film piezo technology and further revolutionize the sensor and transducer market. Thank you for your time, and thanks for listening to me talk about Vesper.
Thank you, Matt. We agree with you on the sensor explosion and how piezoelectric-based thin film technology can be a critical solution to meet the needs of different sensors to make the industrial IoT and other devices a reality. And we certainly are delighted to be a technology partner and a value-added investor to you. What I want to do now is to talk about Korea Innovation Ecosystem and Korea Fund and how we have partnered with Korea Venture Investment Corporation in creating this fund. The objective here is to connect the Silicon Valley and Korean innovation ecosystems. Let's take a deeper look at Korean innovation ecosystem. There are very large companies, there are vibrant startups as well as VCs, and a government that is taking a very proactive role in nurturing innovation ecosystems. Top 10 companies in Korea contribute to over 40% of the GDP. There are about 37,000 startups, and the number is actually growing. There are about 160 VCs, and CVCs are actually playing an important role, and government is taking a very proactive role in nurturing innovation ecosystem. Now we will hear from Young-Min Lee, who is the CEO of Korean Venture Investment Corporation, KVIC, and KVIC and Applied Ventures, I believe, is truly a win-win model, and you would hear from him. And certainly, this collaboration is going to increase the reach for Korean deep tech companies to Silicon Valley ecosystem, as well as access to Korean innovation ecosystem for companies in the United States. So let's hear from Young-Min.
Hello everyone, my name is Young-Min Lee, CEO at Korea Venture Investment Corporation, KVIC. KVIC is an exclusive government-backed fund of funds management institution in Korea. Since its establishment in 2005, KVIC has played a critical role in supporting Korean startups in the form of contributing in the formation of VC funds with high potential value. As you might be aware, large global companies in Korea, such as Samsung, LG, Hyundai, have made great success for the last couple of decades. Behind the success of these companies, there are also efforts and support from many innovative deep tech startups in Korea. However, lacking resources and capability for global market penetration, most of these startups ended up as local players. To help innovative startups going global, KVIC started Global Fund Program since 2013. Now we have 33 funds, totaling $343 million deployed globally, and the number is expected to grow going forward. Especially, I believe the Korea Fund, KVIC created with Applied Ventures, is one of the best practices in terms of win-win model out of our Global Fund Program. We are observing more and more strategic collaborations out of these programs, as well as financial success. Korea Fund encourages the Applied to make more strategic investment in Korea, playing as an import tool for open innovation at Applied. Also, I heard more and more competitive and innovative startups in Korea are knocking doors at Applied. We envision replicating this best practice with more potential new global partners. Let alone semiconductor, there are lots of undervalued competitive startups in AI, soft technology, and fintech who are interested in working with global partners like you. For more information, please feel free to reach out to our Silicon Valley office. We are excited having discussion with you and creating more successful open innovation stories together. Thank you.
You heard from Young-Min Lee about KVIC and win-win partnership model between KVIC and Applied Ventures. So let me come back to this idea of resurgence in the semiconductor industry driven by big data and AI. So we are really in the era of mobility, and if you're looking at 2021, the semiconductor industry revenue is expected to be about $500 billion. The industry is projected to reach $1 trillion, primarily driven by the era for the era for being big data and artificial intelligence. So now you will hear from the CEO of Mckinnorx, Yoon, and Andre is going to talk about how Applied is collaborating with Mckinnorx to develop AI technology for industrial applications, and in this particular instance, specifically for the semiconductor industry. And he also talks about the strategic investment and smart money from Applied Materials, as well as the domain expertise, how it can help accelerate his success as he tailors his AI and ML technology for the semiconductor industry. So let's hear from Andre.
Hello everyone, my name is Andre Yoon, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Mckinnorx. Mckinnorx is a startup based in Korea with a focus in anomaly detection, intelligent control, and predictive analytics. We develop industrial AI solutions and ML operation platforms, specializing in manufacturing and energy industries. We have been working with Applied since 2018, and last year we received strategic investment from Applied Ventures in association with the Korea Fund created and managed by KVIC and Applied Ventures. Since the investment, the partnership between our organization has accelerated, and the influence and technological scope of Applied has offered many opportunities for Mckinnorx. One of the main things we were excited to work on with Applied was applying AI to semiconductor equipment to enable better performance and optimization. However, due to the intricate nature of tasks in dynamic environments, the continuous learning of ML model is necessary to keep up with such challenges. A lot of sensor data comes out of the equipment, which we need process, model, process again, and then monitor. Then we use the outcome of this model to tune the equipment if necessary. When there's a change, the model is updated accordingly, seamlessly conducted on our MLOps platform. At Mckinnorx, we solve these problems by using the right domain expertise and data to train and validate AI models. Applied Ventures has connected us with applied domain experts in semiconductor and other relevant sectors. The joint venture has allowed us to solve many problems together, fast-tracking Applied's application of AI for R&D and business purposes, and helping Mckinnorx in the development of sophisticated AI platforms and the advancement of our industrial AI solutions, meeting the needs of a broader range of customers and applied applications. Going forward, I envision further progressing our partnership, leveraging the partnership as a cornerstone for Mckinnorx's global business expansion. While Mckinnorx has a strong presence in the Korean manufacturing industry, an industry ranked in the top 5 globally with near $600 billion in manufacturing exports, our opportunities for global exposure have been limited. Applied allows us to enter the global market with a strong presence and is a crucial reference and validation point to our potential global clients. With this opportunity, we plan to expand our business globally. I am excited as we move forward with our current plans and hope that you join us in making industrial technology intelligent.
You heard from Andre about strategic investment from Applied Ventures and KVIC, how it is helpful to him. You heard about domain expertise and data to train and validate AI models from Applied Materials is important for his success, and how we are collaborating together to solve customer problems, but most importantly, really solving global challenges together. So let me summarize, and Applied Materials and Applied Ventures is truly excited about collaboration with you. Applied Materials as a company has global footprint with deepest and broadest materials engineering capabilities of any company. As Applied Ventures, we've been working with startups and entrepreneurs for the last 20 plus years. And we are certainly excited about innovating new collaboration models, partnership models in connecting ecosystems across the globe, specifically related to deep tech investments. I just want to bring to your attention, we have a competition coming up in India, September 2021. We call it ASTRA, Applied Startup Technology and Research Accelerator. And we are calling all India-based startups or startups that have an interest in India. The topics are very broad, AI, life sciences, sustainability, Industry 4.0, sensors, so anything really related to deep tech. So looking forward to hearing from you and looking forward to your participation. So with that, I encourage you to collaborate with us. We believe in this idea of innovate anywhere, collaborate everywhere. So you can find us on LinkedIn, Twitter, World Wide Web. Thank you.
My pleasure to welcome Anand Kamannavar, who is, as the Global Head of Applied Materials Venture Capital Fund, manages $300 million in global venture investment portfolio of over 90 companies across 16 countries. Anand has led over a dozen venture investments with very successful exits. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Anand Kamannavar.
Hi, I'm Anand Kamannavar, the Global Head of Applied Ventures and TiE Chartered member. Thank you, Om, and our partners, ITEC and KVIC, as well as AV portfolio companies Vesper and Mckinnorx. At Applied Ventures, we truly believe in finding diamonds wherever in the world they are with the help of our partners. At Applied Ventures, we have been investing in the materials to systems stack globally. With the advent of AI and machine learning, there have been new use cases that are driving changes in the system design perspective, from all the way from data center to high performance computing to edge computing. These changes in use cases are leading to driving changes in the underlying logic, memory, and sensors, which are leading to innovations in advanced packaging and interconnects, which in turn are being driven by materials engineering at the atomic level. We are working and investing in this materials to system stack at a global level. For example, today you heard about Mckinnorx, which is an AI and machine learning software company, which is giving great insights, leading to better predictive maintenance in fabs all over the globe. Sentient, which is an edge computing startup, is changing the power envelope for both the edge computing and mobile phone markets. We have also invested in pioneering low power memory company and sensor companies like Adesto and Vesper, as well as investing in companies in the interconnect space like IR Labs and material companies like Voltax globally. At Applied Ventures, we have been co-investing with the top VC firms and CVC firms globally, right? We have not only invested in key VC firms, but also created unique fund models with leading regions of the world, including Korea and Taiwan. Today, we are leading investments as well as investing in both public and private companies. We have invested in over 16 countries, including India, where we have a very strong footprint. Lastly, I would like to thank the entire TiEcon team for pulling out such a great event. Applied Ventures has been a proud sponsor of TiEcon for quite a number of years. We look forward to hearing from all the TiEcon entrepreneurs, VCs, and other partners. Feel free to drop me a line at applied_ventures@amat.com. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks.